just in case you missed it, Megan's side did file for a restraining order. Okay. She requested that the court grant her a restraining order against me. This took place yesterday. Let's all just fall silent and marinate on that for a moment. Okay? Megan Pete signed her, literally signed it, requesting a restraining order against me. I think that one of the most important things to do when anything like this is happening, I think it's important for anyone who wants to give input or anyone who does something similar. I think you need to take yourself and your emotions and feelings towards who it involves, take that out of it and look at it in its entirety. Does that benefit the ecosystem? If speaking on someone who is a public figure, if speaking on that continually can be turned into this, and if you have an adverse opinion, one that is not positive, that celebrity can then go in and say, okay, I would like to get a restraining order. Let's say you doing what you're doing and one of these celebrities likes a post. Are you now in cahoots with them? Because I would like to remind everybody that the general public had concluded that Tory Lanez had ignored me. Do y'all remember that, or have y'all conveniently tucked that away? That's what y'all narrative was in the first place. How have we jumped to this? Okay. If the restraining order is granted, that would mean I could not discuss her. What and who does that benefit? And what would that do for the ecosystem? Okay. Um, so the motion for the restraining order was put, or the restraining order request was put in. What else? In the amended complaint, you would have to compare, it to the last complaint, but there were some things missing, if you notice. Okay. But let's go ahead and get into what was added. And when I say get into, there's nothing to really get into because I can't talk about it, bitch. Um, and I want to say this before I get too deep. Well, I'm not even getting deep, but before I even say this, there's a page on Twitter, and y'all know exactly who I'm talking about, and the person knows exactly who I'm talking about. They've gone online, and this has been for years, doing to me what they're accusing me of doing towards this girl. And this person has gone online and put up some very questionable things, and then deleted them, and then kind of taking a little break, and then came back, and then did this and that and the third, and then when they start feeling confident and whatnot, they come out and start talking crazy. But I just want to say that it's not lost on anyone what has been said, what has been put out there, allegations made of having personal rapport with people. Somebody came in my chat today and said, go delete Discord before it's subpoenaed. And this page goes online and says, oh, too late. Like they have some insight, to something. And what I want to say is I don't need to delete anything. Not off of my phone. I don't need to delete my Discord server. I don't need to do anything because there's nothing to hide. To be very clear. And there's, a such thing as, throwing shit to the wall and fussing on Twitter and shit in real life, and what's happening in the lawsuit, and what's going on when people have to sit down with attorneys and actually have a conversation about what's being taken seriously, and what's going on. But I think that there have been some very reckless things that have been said via social media, you know, that would be interesting if one decided to, come up against the other side. But moving along, you're right. So if anybody, I saw somebody come in my chat saying, delete your Discord, delete your Discord. I don't need to delete my Discord. My Discord will not be deleted at all. There's nothing to hide on Discord. There's nothing that's been posted on there that doesn't need to be posted. Nobody is breaking any guidelines. Um, there's no communications I'm concerned about, in terms of, oh, let's be slick and talk over here. They ain't gonna think of that. No, I don't have anything to hide, which is why, once again, when they came to serve me with the lawsuit, I went and met them and said, go ahead and hand it to me. Thank you so much. Because I can face this head on, because that's where I am with it. So that's just what I have to say about that. But people online feeling emboldened to behave the way that they do, or the way that they are, the same shit that make you laugh make you cry, you know and it's just ridiculous. So moving along, the amended complaint mentions that they have gone through phone calls, and I would just like to highlight that when someone is subpoenaed, there are a host of things that can be looked into. Okay, that's a fact. I think it says a lot that what was mentioned in the lawsuit didn't have anything to do with me. What was mentioned was a phone call between Daystar and his father, and a comment that they claim Daystar made. Before that's misconstrued, if one were to ask me, why would he say something like that? Something like what? Something like, well, they're not going to find no payments because it doesn't exist. They mentioned that he confidently said they wouldn't be able to find him paying me, proof of him paying me. If that's what he said, then I would surmise that that's thing to find. But I'm confused as to why anyone is listening to phone calls between him and his father when a lawsuit is against me. I understand I was mentioned, that's fine. But this is supposed to be about me, correct? And anything that he talks to his father about don't have nothing to do with me. That's not even my business. I have no awareness of it. I have nothing to add to that. Nothing, you know? So this revelation that I'm being discussed heavily, if I said I was flattered, you say I was being arrogant. If I say I don't care, you're gonna say I'm acting like, what do you want me to do with that? You want me to smile? Do you want me to be happy? What do you want me to do with that? That has nothing to do with me. I have nothing to add to that. Um, what else? Anything about you bring up that she has an alcohol problem, but you don't know her personally. You can't say that. Megan Thee Stallion has been very open about her relationship with alcohol through her music and through sit downs, even in her documentary special that was recently released. She even said outright that Daystar kept on catching her when she was fucked up, as to imply that when she got too drunk to consent, I guess, implying that she got assaulted. And Cobra, she said that if she slit her wrist, she might bleed Pinot, like Pinot Grigio, liquor. She has talked about these things, very open about it. Ex-boyfriends have been very open about it, correct and incorrect. Peers in the industry have been open about it, and said certain things, accused her of certain things. So I don't have to know her personally, but I just want to remind everyone that I have been open previously, when we've been discussing things, and I've told you that I've had personal conversations with people. I have not lied about that. So once again, you just file your paperwork, and then you let the courts decide. But no, I don't know her, but common people do exist, and I can support any claim I've made about someone saying something to me in regards to her. Anything that has to do with what child? I'm trying to think. Really, it's nothing else. The shit about the alcohol. She wants a restraining order, and then the shit about his dad. They to me, it seems like a fishing expedition to try to make things more about his father. and I was accused. It said something to the effect of, it appears as a supportive relationship, but it's really basically a front for her being paid. And I just want to remind everyone that before I ever came into communication with A. Peterson, Kelsey's mother and her sister are the ones that came out and cast doubt. Because I think that going back like this does nothing but open a can of worms when it comes time for me to talk about why I said what I said. And this is defamation, is what's happening at this point. Well, been happening since the lawsuit became public, but yeah, this is defamation. I did not hide that I went to Miami to do an interview. Y'all knew that, and y'all went on that trip with me. You can go on my Instagram right now, and I have the live videos up from moving and shaking around motherfucking Miami, getting on the flight, getting off the flight, going down there. Y'all knew I was going to do an interview. Um, Bitch, wig changes. There's some idiots who think I went down there multiple times. Child, I didn't just change the wig. Literally. Same occasion, idiots. So there's nothing illegal about going to dinner. We went to dinner after we finished the interview. The interview that we filmed in a studio, like professional. I've done interviews with other people who have also accommodated me and made sure that I had flight and hotel and transportation and things of that nature. Absolutely. They said we rode with you to the hotel, you know. So in regard to that photograph with him, and in regard to me being around him at that time, y'all know that I interviewed Sunstar. He came down to Houston. Do y'all remember that? Okay. Then when I went to Miami and I did an interview, same shit. Same shit. And once again, the accusation is that I was being paid to facilitate and carry out these different agendas and shit, and that is what needs to be proven. Where is the proof of that? You cannot decide because I have a rapport with people that they are now making me get up and have paid me to say what I said. Ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. Does not work like that. There are plenty of people who blog who have personal relationships with the people that they speak about. Plenty. There are plenty of people in the world who have family members who are going through things, who give their opinions and thoughts on things. That does not mean that you got up and said something to further an agenda or anything else. That is not what, because that gets sticky, doesn't it? Because there are people who blog who have relationships with people that if y'all feel like they're benefiting from it, is this now an orchestrated effort? Is this now stalking? Is this now cyber stalking and harassment? And these are the questions that would, rise to the top. So, um, the judge responded very quickly to this other situation, to the motion request. They had to submit a response by the 10th. It ain't nothing but the 11th. And the judge already signed off and said, "Well, I can't grant this motion to dismiss because it no longer exists." So I feel like we should have an answer, in relation to this restraining order request soon enough, because they were requesting that it be granted immediately. So I would imagine that this would be something that would be a priority and that the judge would want to look at and consider. The first lawsuit is out the window. You need to consider the first complaint, act like you never saw it. The new paperwork that has been filed is where we at with it now. But the assertion still remains the same. I'm being accused of being paid to spread information. Academics was mentioned. I said I had the same sources as academics. we were doing, a lot of his fans came and started supporting me. That's a well known public fact. So, like I said, yeah, we have a lot of the same sources, meaning a lot of the same people come and tell us things that had nothing to do with implying that someone had, from anybody's team had given me anything. No, that's not what that means. Right. Because academics said he got the information from Rock Nation. So if y'all believe we got the same sources and you believe him, then y'all tell me. Are y'all the ones that said it? So that should be a fucking no-brainer. People talk. Nobody was supposed to be able to get their hands on that initial report that said that glass fragments were pulled from her feet. But because people talk, someone was able to, weren't they? Exactly. Nothing more, nothing less. You can try to manipulate that all you want to, that doesn't make it a fact. So once again, there's no point in time where I colluded with academics. And let me tell you something. I do not fuck around. I don't fuck around. I don't fan art. Academics and me got up on Instagram Live every day, and when it was over, it was over. We wasn't sitting up in no damn DMs cackling. And prior to us getting on Instagram, baby, we had not had any dialogue. Hello? So we were not in cahoots in any capacity. The only conversation that exists between me and academics on a phone line is interview talk. Then that's information about coming and going, and me thanking him for his hospitality. And God bless you. I'm done with it. Business over with? Cool. I don't. So I think that once again, people have convinced themselves of something that does not exist. And someone said, "Girl, I don't believe you because let you tell it, celebs stay in your DM." They do, but none of them give a fuck about her or this situation. So that's not what's being discussed. So, like I said very plainly, babe, there's no conversation or back and forth about the situation. And felt information from the people, that are representing him. Completely false. I've never crossed that line. Never reached out, and they've never crossed that line. They have no reason to speak to me. I'm a blogger. My public conversations with Caesar are just that, public on Instagram. Nothing more, nothing less. The was when we decided to move forward. So once again, everybody's sitting up thinking there's some big, wow, oh my God. No, 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 no. That's not the case. Right, right. And it's supposed to be that Daystar Peterson was paying me and has been paying me to say, so where are the records of payments from him? And all the subpoenaing that's been done, nobody's pulled that up yet. They've listened to jail calls and everything, but ain't nobody been able. And we found that he sent her this on this day, and we confirmed that she did this because of this. Where's that at? Where? They said I have bots. Defamation. If I were going to pay for inflated views and comments, I wouldn't have 20K to 30K or less than 20K views on a YouTube video. I'm a go big or go home ho. If I'm going to pay to inflate my, period, period, it would not be no motherfucking video that's not monetized that got maybe 25,000 views. And where's proof of me paying for these services? Where's me signing up for a subscription to a service that allows that? Where's anything? So all of this I believe is ridiculous. Um, what? These people is crazy. Yeah, 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 yeah. And I want everyone to be aware of the fact that it has been addressed and acknowledged 50, 11 times that that report about glass fragments is not false. So I did not spread misinformation, which is the nucleus of why, a sector of people believe that I have spread misinformation. It's not false. They're just upset that I did not follow up. Okay. So manipulation, manipulation. And yeah. So it'll be responded to. And then we'll go from there. And then the judge will decide. Obviously, I don't think that the judge should grant a restraining order, but it's up to the judge. Already been written, child, in the book of life. It just really is what it is. Something I'm gonna do because what the fuck can I do about it? They're gonna decide what they want to decide. All I can say is that I think this is absolutely ludicrous. There have been times where I've done things in life where shit I probably should have had a restraining order put on me, but this is not one. This is literally one of the most bizarre things like I've ever even just heard in my life. And my whole thing is, why did the complaint need to be amended? And why wasn't this asked for in the beginning? And why wasn't a restraining order or a lawsuit filed in the thick of and in the heat of what's been going on? Here we are now. And now it is on record that you have asked for a restraining order. That's crazy. That's crazy. At this time, there's nothing for me to get into because I'm not going to sit up here and talk strategy and give away my damn responses. But in a very surface level manner, those are my thoughts and feelings on what's going on at this time and the different things that have been said. Anything that has to do with T. Ferris was mentioned, like I accused her of sleeping with T. Ferris. Child, that's not my rumor. That's not my rumor. And I think people need to go ask around about, who said what. Cause I heard a song that was made that said you fucked your mama nigga, right? It says how you fuck your mother man when she die. I know I didn't tell the artist that rapped that anything. I didn't start a room and tell them shit. Where did they get that from? So somebody's been running around speculating about you and T Ferris that ain't got shit to do with me. I didn't say that. But I know when I said it, your friend came back and told me he was your guardian. So once again, I don't know adults with guardians that don't have some type of ailment. So all this shit is being said, and it just is what it is. They said pray and read your Bible. So I'm not gonna sit on my motherfucking hands and read no damn Bible. Do you know what the prayer is? Thank you, God, for equipping me with the type of mind that you did. And I then got my ass up and I will be responding. Y'all too reliant on sitting around and reading and shit. It ain't nothing I can pull up out the Bible that I can put up in this lawsuit that's going to come up against what I'm being accused of. So what I need to be doing is is being focused on a damn rebuttal. You gotta do the work. So absolutely not. And I think that this is a very unhealthy fixation. And I think that y'all are so warped in the fucking brain that these people, I'm talking about the public, people who speculate all day. They don't know if they want to say the nigga ignored me or if the nigga was paying me or if I was fucking the nigga. They don't know which one they want to go with. And I think that this idea that maybe there's something there. I think that that's at the core of it because there are men who have asserted things and there's not this energy present for them. So it can give off the impression that, do you feel like I'm more your peer? Do you feel like we are competing or something? Or what's the difference when you have all of the, let's be very clear. There's a lot of people in the world who don't believe certain things about that case. We're now putting the weight of that on my shoulders. I do think that I've influenced some people, yes. But we're putting the weight of all of the people that don't identify with whatever took place on me. And you believe that so much so that you're going to bypass the Joe Buttons of the world with their platforms and millions of views. Millions of views. One could argue that he got up based on the salary that he makes and felt like it would bring him more people and engagement to speak the way he was speaking. The videos on YouTube that everybody's in the uproar about, or they don't benefit me. True or false? The shit that I put on YouTube because the videos don't even sit on Twitch because of its interface. How do they benefit me? How? And in what way? So it's crazy. You have Jason Lee getting up. This girl is being accused of attacking people behind their association with this man. Literally. And once again, you bypass all of that. Like, what? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And in the documentary special, she's sitting there talking about how she thought she would feel better after the verdict, but she didn't. I mean, one could argue that that's part of your vendetta. You don't like the way that things have gone, so you want somebody to blame. Because maybe if you didn't, then all this hypothetical shit, you know? So at the end of the day, that is where we are with this shit. hmm Of course, there will be a response. And then, I mean, I don't guess they would try to amend it again, but who knows? Um, if you listen to my show, I went and blocked this girl on my social media platforms. So I have never in my life commented in her comment section. I have never DM'd her. I have never tagged her. I'm not putting on my story. I don't have no close friends. I'm not bothering this person in any capacity. I'm in my I don't even if I do a show about her, I don't tag her in it on YouTube. I'm sorry, on Twitter. To try I don't hashtag hoping to gain traction from, her people. None of that shit. None of that shit. So this idea that someone is asking for a restraining order against me, I'm just flabbergasted. Flabbergasted because what? So it's just a mess. Um, but like I said, you do not need to come in any space that I have and try to advise me by way of telling me you might want to delete this or delete that. That's of the devil. You are speaking like a demon to me because that implies that you think that I need to go and get rid of shit like I got something to hide. You do not need to come and try to advise me to essentially get rid of evidence or to get rid of anything that anybody wants to look into. Absolutely not. I don't need to be advised that way, and I don't have anything that I need to get rid of. So y'all can keep that bullshit. And I feel like anybody who feels like I got something to hide or who comes at me with that type of energy, bitch, don't be surprised if you get blocked. Because sitting up here telling me, oh, you might want to delete this. I don't know, I don't. What the hell you got going on? What the hell you got going on? And also, there are people making other pages thinking that they're going unnoticed and like they, doing something a little different or being cute. And we see you. Y'all ain't nothing slick to a can of oil. And when you don't have the right intentions when you doing shit, baby, that shit rises to the surface. You will never prosper like that ever. Especially not against God's chosen. And it just is what it is. And it's not about being big headed. At the end of the day, however a situation goes, figure out how that was used to make you better. Figure out what God was trying to reveal to you. Some people think that they go through a hardship and maybe they should start questioning if they're chosen. The chosen go through the most shit. So shit might not even go your way. That doesn't mean that it's not, in your favor. You never know. So this shit don't make no motherfucking sense. This is some of the stupidest shit I've ever been involved with in my motherfucking life. I think that someone needs to really use their fucking brain. Use their brain. I guess I gotta plant the seed or help you to see the bigger picture. I need y'all to use y'all damn brain and realize that the world was so used to black women not standing for black men. The world has become to black that I now have a federal case for defending one. Do you understand that? I have a federal case against me for defending a damn black man. So do not tell me that there's this love that exists amongst the community and that y'all want to. No, you don't. You couldn't. Because there was one time where a bitch did that and y'all nailed her to the motherfucking cross. Yeah, this is a federal case at this time. Yes. I have not had a run in with the law ever in my life. I don't even have a speeding ticket. But that black man deserves such. I'm dealing with a federal case with someone now trying to put a restraining order of bushes and windows, waiting on like, hello, like I'm even reporting on anything that's invasive. I don't even have a show that's exclusive. I don't even run an operation like that. So we are literally matters and giving opinions on public matters. And this has been convoluted and twisted up so much that humans actually created a document where they are requesting a restraining order. I'm bewildered. Like that's just Matrix shit. That's just Twilight Zone shit. Like that's sick shit to me. So that's that. It ain't shit else to be said. I said it yesterday and I'm gonna say it again today. If God forbid the judge decides to grant a restraining order and I can't discuss shit else, at least we had this conversation because at least the people that support for real can hear what I had to say towards that. Because I'm not going online to try to prove a point to no hoes that don't read shit and are committed to misunderstanding. I don't even give a fuck. I don't care. So that's like the fuck. I don't know. I don't fucking know. Then if you notice, um, when we were at Camp Mob, I went live because I noticed the date was November 3rd. They cited something I said on my Instagram live, and they're claiming that I said that I was still on payroll. Allah don't care who the fuck tell it. On what fucking planet have I ever sat up anywhere and said that I was still on payroll? On payroll at all, or still on payroll? When?
Someone once told me the grass is much greener on the other side.